Well, we start this hour with that breaking news. The arrest made on suspicion of murder, a man in his 30s. This is regarding the murder of Ashling Murphy, the school teacher who was murdered last week in County Offaly. We can speak to our correspondent David Blevins now. And David, this arrest took place shortly after Ashling's funeral today.
Yes, police are providing very little detail at this stage for operational reasons, other than to confirm that detectives investigating the murder of the 23-year-old primary school teacher last Wednesday have arrested a man in his 30s. He's currently being detained at Tullamore Garda Station under Section 4 of the Criminal Justice Act 1984, and that questioning could go on for some time. The An Garda Síochána, the Irish Police Service, are adamant that they will not be making any further comment at this stage, but it is nonetheless a significant development, and as you say, it comes just a matter of hours after the small village of Mountbolus in County Offaly came to a complete standstill for the funeral of Ashling Murphy. There can be no question whatsoever about the esteem in which she was held. Literally hundreds upon hundreds of people turned out and packed into and around the small parish of St. Brigid. The mourners were led by her parents, her brother, her sister and her boyfriend. Ireland's President Michael D. Higgins and his wife Sabina came along. There were some very touching scenes as they comforted the family in the church and gently placed their hands on Ashling's coffin. Also there, the Prime Minister and Taoiseach Micheál Martin, and that's because really the murder of this young woman has had an enormous impact both at home and abroad. People are not just saddened by it, they are very angry about the fact that after all this time women are still being subjected to violence, and there have been all sorts of vigils and calls for a change in attitude, for this to be the watershed moment. Ashling Murphy was just one of those very special people, it seems. A very popular school teacher. Her own class of 5- and 6-year-olds provided a guard of honour as her coffin arrived at the church this morning. She was a talented camogie player on the pitch, very popular too, and in fitting form, I think, in this rural part of Ireland, County Offaly, traditional musicians, both inside and outside the church, paid their respects to a very talented fiddle player. And I think that's the important thing to remember today. While the murder investigation continues behind the scenes, and while there has been this arrest, this is a day when Ashling's family and friends want to remember a very beautiful young woman who was so cruelly snatched away in unthinkable circumstances.